welcome to the Highly Visible Podcast. It is February 24th. Here in the studio with Dan, your host. I am sitting here alongside with Thomas.
Hello.
Caden.
What's going on?
And Cullen.
Hi.
He's
reluctant. And this is our Wholesome Purge.
Our Wholesome Purge is a discussion inspired by Stanzi Potenza and her TikTok about the purge. Why does everyone assume you're going to do something terrible during the purge? Why not do something nice for yourself or someone else that does not involve murdering? If you were to do such a thing, what would you do and why? And also, how would you defend yourself during the purge? I don't know who we should start with at this point. We made an executive decision to not talk extensively about the construction of explosive devices on this podcast. We don't want our first 100 listeners to all be federal agents. So, in lieu of that decision,
listeners are listeners.
Listeners,
hey,
are
fair.
listeners. I feel like the first thing we need to ask ourselves is this: do people have purge insurance in this world?
In our make-believe world?
In this make-believe world in Minecraft, if I were to say...
Our Minecraft purge world.
You know, maybe steal 20 to 35 motor vehicles. Would they in fact be mine at the end of these 12 hours?
Well, I mean,
yeah, that for sure.
Yeah, with or without insurance, because, I mean, it's legal at the time when you did it.
So I'm insured that I won't be going to jail the next day. Am I insured that if I steal these things from a business, that they will be reimbursed? So am I going to...
Don't get too worked down with the details. Just have.
Am I ruining someone's life?
You have to get to the DMV and get the title to the cars.
You have 30 days from the time of theft.
You're thinking with your brain. These are the things that I am curious about. So, I feel like the funner part is going to be the goofy stuff. But honestly, like, how do you not die during the purge? Does anyone here have a person in their life that they think secretly wants to purge murder them? Cullen, go first.
No, I don't.
You really have not a single person?
I don't.
No cousin that you wronged? No, like, dude that owes you money?
This is in Alabama.
Ooh. You're so wholesome, Cullen. You didn't steal that headband from a small child?
That'd be sick.
Thomas stole my cum. I was like, who? I bet the guy you stole that from is probably pissed.
All right, how about you?
From is not happy with you.
Do you have a person, Caden? Do you have a person you think secretly wishes you death? Do they with desh upon you?
Probably my girlfriend, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, she hates me.
Number one suspect, just like on CSI?
Yes. Everyone I tell, I was like, if I end up going missing, you like have a 150-mile search radius of all the hog farms in Ohio. I'm guaranteed to be chopped up and in a pig's stomach at one of those.
Closest 100%. To where she was last.
Exactly. 100%.
All right, Dan, go.
More than likely, my own sons. Yeah, when I take that tablet away, when it's time for cutting them sweets off, my life is in jeopardy. Okay? Colin can attest. He's seen it firsthand.
Gonna tag team you feel like? Or do you think
I feel like it.
Child one.
He's at the perfect height to just hit that ankle, raw teeth, just...
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yes.
Child two.
He's a little bit more rambunctious. He has opposable thumbs and he knows it. He's not afraid to use them. He comes down from the rafters and he's probably got at least a half gallon of Play-Doh ready to tactically insert it down my throat and send me to God. But, you know, you take that risk when you become a father.
You do. You absolutely do.
High ropes with a tub of Play-Doh.
In the air, he's going like this to the Play-Doh.
That's right.
Like a baker forming it into an esophagus-shaped tube.
Well, we made the mistake of showing him Tommy Pickles turned it into a screwdriver.
Yes.
He's like, knife. Boot knife.
What's the goofiest thing that you could think of? Daniel.
Oh, gosh.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, goofy.
Dan took this entirely seriously. There's no goofiness. If you want goofy, you come to me or Caden, possibly, but not Dan.
Maybe.
Sweep us away on a cloud of goof.
Edgy.
Silly goose.
You want to know what I would really do? Like, you know, the super edgy shit I'd get into?
Yes.
I'd get on the internet without my parents' permission.
Mother of God.
How do I sleep at night?
Safe search.
Live with yourself.
Safe search was off.
for those boobs.
All right, Dan, go. Give me your whole deal, the whole plan right now. Go.
All right.
Hold my beer.
That's right. Now, the first thing that I thought of in my heart of hearts in a wholesome purge, not going and stealing a tub of gummy bears, it would be probably to cordon off, pay, and contract professional individuals who have safety and security in mind, and cordon off a safe zone for kids, families, any of those in need, protect them, get them through the purge, provide entertainment, distraction, and also teach your kids the value of charity and the value of being polite to people.
This is so much better than mine.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
What was that first word you kept saying? I didn't
make me
understand.
cry,
that.
dog.
Like cordon? What?
Yeah.
Cordon.
What is that?
Cordon off.
Warden?
Cordon.
I don't know what that word means.
No.
Hello, highly visible listener. This is Cullen stepping in from the editing studio. Dan does not know what he's talking about. His definition is vaguely correct, but cordon does not start with a Q. It is spelled Cordon.
Is that
Like
coordinating?
cut off, like restrict an area.
Okay.
Put cord across.
Yes, just
Yeah.
shoelaces.
Yeah.
Running
Isn't
around,
that-
that'll stop them.
Isn't that what they call the things at the movie theater? With
That's
the
how we
ropes?
kept.
You got
That's how we
cordon.
kept the terrorizers out.
Anti-sea bear circle.
There it is. Go Sam and Dean and just throw salt down. Call it a day.
I'm ready for Caden's thing that made him laugh because it's so the opposite of that.
I'm sorry.
Mine's so boring. I'm gonna steal one of those refrigerator trailers. And then go to like a GFS and like just pack that motherfucker full, and then have a designated area for.
Everyone's already falling apart.
I was going to steal
happening?
all the meat.
Listen,
No
Like,
more Arby's. Now I have the meat.
All the steaks in the entire Kroger's.
yes, everything.
Keep it together, gentlemen.
He's got 1,600 pork butts.
This man's going to business.
We're eating good at work on Monday
Yes.
after this. That's for sure.
It's kind of like Thanksgiving turkeys, like they hand them out to the people before Thanksgiving, But it's going to be like this guy might get, frozen potato skins. This guy might get a turkey. This guy might get a salami stick. Who knows? Just
Each according to
Let 'em
their need.
exactly.
Like Jesus.
But the plan is
There it is.
to still give back.
Right?
Give
High
back.
vis Jesus.
I
And I will
mean,
be revered as a god.
Was that your whole plan? Like this? You were like, this is going to take me 12 hours.
I'm going to have all the
Yes.
snacks.
This is a night well spent.
So well thought. I was like, dude, I don't got time for that. I'll just steal a bunch of fucking food or something like that.
This is my question. The thing that immediately popped into my mind when you said refrigerated truck or whatever. Do you know those like single bag burritos you get at the store for $1 or whatever? Like these used to be 30 cents and now they're like $2, but you throw them in the microwave in the bag until the bag blows up and you eat them and they're shitty, but they're amazing. How many of those do you think you could fit in one of those trucks?
Probably
It would probably be more weight than that truck could carry. If you filled it. Think about that.
I just picture myself Scrooge McDucking in this truck full of burritos.
Covered in frostbite from frozen burritos.
I'm like the
That's
guy
how
at the
I
end
wanna
of The
go.
Shining in the burritos, just like
There it is.
get 2 gallons of Tapatio. I'm just pouring it over my skin to feel the warmth.
There it is.
Yeah, don't have any open cuts with that shit though, because you will regret that.
I got dumb ideas. Like me and Dan discussed this earlier today. We want to find a small, a very good hacker who desperately wants us to physically protect him, and then just go do a bunch of Robin Hood stuff.
Absolutely. That is one of my biggest off-site wholesome purge things.
Yes.
Is that. It's like, because everything else is, I have one more that's off-site. But
Do it.
Most of it's hunker down.
Go ahead.
He's so nice. I did not expect it at all. I thought that it was going to be like, I'm going to hand out bullets one by one to anybody who comes to fuck with me. He's
I'm
like,
not allowed to kill people.
oh, so it's just the stipulations. It's
Yeah,
not
you're
that
not
you're
even supposed to
secretly.
be worried about. Well, at least that's what my understanding was. It's wholesome.
It's
for
a
everyone.
purge.
They
Just because we
also-
found God doesn't mean civilization
No,
has.
we are
Good point.
assuming in this purge that we have all found God.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Are we?
That's what I was
that?
doing. So we weren't even. So we didn't even have to worry about people killing us. So we could do.
Well, that's
just
not true.
Nice shit.
Someone's definitely coming after me in my burrito truck. I'm gonna have
Well,
to
they're
defend the
getting
shit out of
arrested
that.
and they're arrested right then. Like
It's the
that's
purge,
what I'm
bro.
saying.
Not getting
It's
arrested.
the purge.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Was wholesome for everyone.
I thought it was
No.
just
You don't have
us
to be like,
choosing
I
to
need
be
to
good
kill this
people.
This is
person
us
trying to
choosing
kill me.
not
That's
to
what I
be
thought, too.
Yeah.
a part of
Okay,
a
that's
bad.
This is us proving we're better than the other people because we're superior.
as
Yes.
if we needed to prove.
We're
that.
literally virtue signaling during a purge. Jesus
Yes.
Christ, we're gonna get killed so
Virtue
fast.
Purge. That's a better title. Why didn't we think of that sooner?
It's gross.
All right,
Stop.
Caden, is that all you got? Is it just the potato skins and the pork butts?
Yeah, dude. Like, that's,
Remember the other thing?
like a
See,
king.
we talked about the other thing about the swords and the stuff, and I got a thing that feeds right into it. I need you to know that you're with me.
so should I explain that?
No, not yet. Because
Okay, so
my
that's like-
hunker down strategy involves a place where you could do that very easily. Where do we
Gosh.
work? That is a place no one gives a shit about, that no one's going to come to steal stuff from, that we could have a limitless amount of shit to barricade every single door. I'm going to work, you guys.
We're going to tie the little things, the black boxes. We're going to tie little pieces of cloth and light them on fire and just launch those things, dude.
They will catch on fire. But I'm
To
saying
bring illumination and peace to the world, not to hurt anyone.
we have concrete. We could stack concrete from floor to ceiling in front of every door. No one's
In the
getting
name of
in.
peace.
No one's getting in. We hunker down and we can stay safe in there. But also, after we move all that stuff and put it in front of the doors, we got this big open pit area where we could, like, I don't know, Caden, like, host some gladiatorial events.
You guys are demons,
We're not demons. This is not.
All right.
literal demons.
This is not
Tell us
us.
how you stand above us morally.
This is not us doing.
I do.
A meanness. This is like anybody who's ever wanted to have a sword fight in real life gets to come and have a sword fight. It's like mutual combat. I
My
want
event won't be mutual.
Well, there's
It'll
no
be-
going back now. So
it'll be-
elaborate for people who do not know what you're saying.
Listen, I just want to know what it'd be like to be like a Roman emperor watching the fucking, you know,
It's not very wholesome, Caden.
that's very wholesome.
You've
Whatever,
already
bro.
gone too far. He's got to explain it because now if you listen to this, you're gonna be like, "What are they talking about?" So you just gotta go.
Talking about, all right.
Let Caden cook.
Listen, let me. Shh. So we're going to gather all of the homeless people that we can find. We will construct a little coliseum, we can say,
Out of concrete. Just saying.
out of concrete, and we will have a bracket, and we will pit them against each other, and the winner gets to leave with his life and be fed.
Well, one question.
Sure.
What stops all of them from turning on you and killing you immediately as soon as you tell them what the deal is?
Me being armed to the teeth and threatening them.
I was about to say, you ever heard that like psychology of a line? Like if there's a random line somewhere, everyone just randomly gets in it.
Yeah.
Just even if they don't know what it's for. I
Fair
feel
enough.
like that's what it's for. Like once the first couple people are like, oh, that pig ass and my honor is my reward, let's kill. But once the two people are like sold, then the others are like, you know what? These guys, they make sense. And that pig ass do be looking good.
We'll roast a whole hog.
He just
and
makes
then you look
sense.
closer, and it's not a hog. It's the very first homeless person that died.
Oh
They
no,
roast
he
him.
didn't go there.
Excellent.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
recycling.
Wholesome.
I love it.
So edgy. Getting out the
Yes.
long pig. All right, Cullen, silly goose us out of this hole.
Bring us
Go.
back to
Okay, so I'm going with another silly
Mush.
goose thing. Okay, I would if in my wholesome purge, I would jaywalk
A lot.
aggressively.
God.
I
get
would
control
also,
of yourself.
I would I would steal the Declaration of Independence.
My God.
The biggest fucking scumbag I've ever heard of.
I
So
hope
you're
your
welcome.
parents are
There
disappointed
now
in you.
you've burnt through a lot of my silly gooseness, but I have more.
I have a question. How do you plan on stealing the Declaration of Independence without it falling apart in your hands?
Didn't
The
you
thing
watch
is-
Nicolas Cage?
Really old.
Duct
No.
tape.
Duct tape.
Listen here, I didn't question
thought of
how you were
everything.
going to get 64 homeless people to fight to the death for a turkey sandwich. Like, calm down.
Because Dan, his enforcer, is going to make sure that they do.
Exactly.
What?
No,
I
Dan's
thought you were
being
corralling the
wholesome.
children.
Oh,
No,
I'll
Yeah.
be doing that. I got time.
you're
Kids
gonna
have parents. If they
What-
don't,
with one hand you coordinate, with the other you are the warden. What
That's
are you
right.
doing here, dude?
I have split personality disorder.
You got anything else on your list, Dan?
Nothing that like is silly goose. I didn't.
Doesn't have to be silly goose. That's just how I went about it.
Okay.
His goose is silly.
Yeah, I'll leave the silly goose to the goose. So another one that I have is in a purge where everybody else has been possessed by demons and decides to be less than ideal and goes around showing each other no brotherly love, and us four have decided to rise above the solder and smoke. I remembered that, there are probably going to be some parents that die out in that wreckage, and there's going to be some kids out there left behind. Either with loved ones, not loved ones, the dog's going to get hungry. Someone's going to have to go round up these kids. So, how do I reach these kids? What I think I would do is hire that same team. If I don't have my DMZ, demilitarized zone, safe zone for these people that I'm protecting, then we go out and we go house to house with nothing but hugs and smiles, and we recruit these kids and get them to safe shelters.
And then we adopt all the kitties.
All the kids.
I meant
Yikes.
cats.
No, we're not adopting any more kids.
We're
Absolutely
getting
not.
all of the
I'll
Nicolan.
shuttle them across the river, but I'll be damned if they stay on my raft.
I think Cullen's throwing up.
No, my phone's
I may
alarm
have a
was
soft
going
spot for those little kids that can't defend themselves, but I'll be goddamn if I'm stuck with them forever.
No truck drivers allowed, though.
If you drive a rig, hide.
If you come in to Dan's office every day and speak more than one single sentence, hide.
Yes. You've been warned.
All Dan has to hear is the door open and like mouth breathing, like Dan, just like Dan doesn't even have to look away from his computer. Just like
He can just sense that they're there, taking
Yes.
up space that should be empty.
It's like a demonic presence, and I'm Lorraine.
oxygen level has really dropped in this room.
What's the hacker stuff we were going to do, Dan? Oh, the DMV thing, right? Okay, so this is my plan. Not only are we going to hook up everybody that we can think of in our local area for the next few years, but we're also going to give our friends at the DMV a well-needed rest. We're going to sneak in that fool, and we're going to give everybody tags up for like the next 4 years. And for like the first 6 months, they're not going to realize that we did it, and they're just going to be at work all day. Like, it's
Having
really
the longest lunch breaks.
It's really weird. No one's coming to get their tags today. I wonder whose birthdays are today. Was nobody born on this day?
A job well done.
I guess we'll just have to. I don't know. What
We'll
do they
be
do at the
sitting there.
DMV when they're not doing stuff?
Hey Jill, it's been real quiet. Yeah, for the past 6 months, we haven't had anybody come in at all. Like something's wrong here.
Should we tell anyone?
Well, would you consider yourself a hero? Well, I don't. Yes.
Yes.
We finally we registered all the cars, Diane. They're just all done. We finally did it.
Consider the people saved.
Absolutely.
Not all heroes wear capes.
That's
We
right.
could-
Some of them have gigantic stomachs.
So Dan's done. Dan's he's emptied the mag.
I don't know, man.
And-
Oh, it was the
and,
credit
uh,
card? Fight Club?
Oh, you got one more?
Yeah, it's short.
All right, let's go.
All right,
Go then.
I'm just doing lightning rounds. All right, my last one, I actually stole this from one of my favorite movies of all time, Fight Club, which Thomas knows. It's I would do what I would call a clean slate with all the credit bureaus and agencies by either peacefully whitewashing them and erasing all data, but if that cannot be done, I would make sure that wholesomely everyone was out of the building and wholesomely blow that shit up.
And
I
play
would
Smashing
cover it with a big
Pumpkins
blanket.
with a big
Yes, right.
boombox
That way everybody has an 850 and the Fed can go
to a
be
place
at peace.
in Minecraft.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would definitely embezzle money for sure.
Do you think
Just
like
go straight to embezzlement.
just at work?
Yep.
Just I'm just gonna stay here and watch The Office, guys. And as soon as everybody leaves, you're just like
Exactly.
I love that. That was an awesome transition.
Phyllis, does anyone know why we ordered $16,000 in paper towels during the purge?
Thought it was going to get messy.
What supplier is Caden's new truck? That's really, I've never heard of this supplier.
We got the towels, bro.
I got a whole truck full. I stole them during the purge.
That's awesome.
That's fun.
So,
what?
outside of me, does anyone have anything left on their list?
Oh God, yes. I'm doing lots of stuff. That DMV thing is fun, but like, I got things that I might actually do, and I also got things that like I just want to see what would happen. Like, do you ever have a fantasy like of like a Groundhog's Day scenario where you just get to relive the same day for a while and you can just try a bunch of shit? It's like one of my favorite tropes in television and movies ever. Like, there's a Stargate episode where they live the same day for like 100 days and they just wake up and try some shit every day because they know it's going to start over again. Like, the ultimate freedom of doing that. I feel like that's kind of what the purge would be for me if it was legit. Like, like you know what day it is, right? Like, it's not random, so you know it's coming. I might make an investment around tax time. You know what I mean? Just get like a pallet of 50-pound bags of gelatin powder. And I'm going to like every rich person in town with a giant pool who's done some shitty thing in the last however long, and I'm just going to put a bag in each of their pools and see what happens.
They're going to have a lot of damn animals in their backyards for months at a time.
There's
There's going to be a lot of fat raccoons dying of diabetes.
And they're going to wonder who it is, and they're not going to have any idea who I am, and I just want them to know that... Like every once in a while, I'll just buy an ad in the paper that says, "You know what you did."
There it is.
I tell you why I think that pool plan would backfire. Because every rich person has a poor person cleaning their pools.
Right, but that's the thing, though, right? I'm creating jobs.
And Jello in my pool, like.
While it would suck maybe to clean up the Jello, it's not like shit or anything, right? And I bet they get to charge a shit ton of money to go fix it, right? Can you imagine getting paid to play in a pool full of Jello all day? You'd invite your
I was
kids,
about to say
right?
that shit would get into your pump system and like everything's getting replaced.
Now the repair guy's got a gig, the electrician's got a gig, the pool guy gets to hire his cousin for a couple weeks.
See, that's where I dig that shit out with a spoon and fill it up with cement.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. We're done. Some asshole thought it was worth doing this.
That's my thing. I want to be mischievous. I don't want to I want to be like a stochastic terrorist. I want to make people think about stuff.
I want to know what that word means.
I've just heard it a lot today and I've been throwing it out. It's when you do weird shit like call bomb threats in on people and stuff like that, I guess. It's non-conventional terrorism. It's a weird word. It's fun, though.
I think fucking jumping into a pool of Jello is probably a death sentence, though.
Like, how do you get out? Man, would it be way easier to swim, do you think? Because it would hold you up?
Well, I don't
know. Like, it's an odd viscosity.
like solid Jello.
It's still mostly water, though, right?
So we're talking like you just like there's like some Jello floating. I thought like it was
No, I mean like it's solid,
Jell-O.
dog. Solid Jello.
Solid Jello. You go right to the fucking bottom. And you know, like you put like a spoon in the Jello, you take it out, it just closes back up. You suffocate. down
Yeah,
there.
no, yeah. You're basically drowning in like a latex, essentially.
The next day, the dog goes out to piss and goes to smell the thing and falls in and just disappears forever.
Yep. That dog just doesn't
They're
exist.
just pulling bones out the filter 6 months later.
Jesus Christ.
That's mean. Oh, Fluffy, how art
Here's
thou?
a question for you.
Yes.
I had about that. You said something about I've never seen any of that, like movies or anything. How does that end? If you're stuck in the same cycle, how do you break the loop?
There's always something in the thing. Like in Stargate, it was like a some sort of time dilation effect with a wormhole or some kind of dumb shit. And
My favorite.
They spent the 100 days learning the scientific explanation for how to fix it and memorizing it in a way that they could convince people out of nowhere to just believe them, because there's no way they would know how to explain it unless they had been studying it for 100 days. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But they also, like, he kisses the girl that he can't kiss, and they fucking learns how to juggle, and, like, you know what I mean? You gotta do all kind of fun stuff like that. I feel like
I know if I was stuck in a horrifying time loop, the first thing I would do is get down that juggling routine.
I mean,
That shit's going to come in handy.
how many days would you, like, how many days could you actively search for the solution before you were disheartened enough that you had to take a break?
Let me be real and depressing real quick, just for a quick second. If my life was stuck on Groundhog Day with how I currently live it, I'm not sure how long it would take for me to notice.
Fair.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Fair.
Like a year might have to pass for me to be like, one of my kids has not had a birthday
I don't
yet.
think so. I think after the 16th or 18th day of going to work straight in a row, you'd be like, something's up.
You know what? That's a good point. Once
supposed to
they
at least
came at
get
me
one
with the
day a week.
same dumb shit, yeah, you're right. That's fair. I didn't even think about that.
How come John's been a pissy bitch the last 3 months?
Yep. Like Cullen just calls off for a month straight. Yeah, that's not happening. It just
might.
happens to. No.
Hopefully it's on a Thursday and there's just food there every day. Like,
Free food every day. That's
Dude,
not bad.
You see, Caden coming in clutch, making my Groundhog Day
for the
top
past
notch.
3 months. Like, what's happening?
They really
Get
love
me
it.
well fed.
We are single-handedly keeping pains in business.
All right. So my next thing that I'm doing with my little tiny hacker man, I'm breaking into a bunch of like medical or registry places of some sort where I'd have access to those databases. And I'm like quadruple insuring myself. I'm going to have like the Queen's insurance. I'm going to like have a $30 copay to get liposuction. I'm going to get so healthy that it makes everyone around me sad to be around me because I look so good for free.
But
It'll
it's
be like-
cosmetic, though, right?
I know my insurance will be that good. It'll be like, I'll kill myself if I don't lose 80 pounds. I'll be like, oh, shit. $30 copay, sir. What else am I going to do? I'm going to sign myself up for a whole bunch of subscriptions and not ever actually pay them any money. I'm going to have all the streaming services. I'm going to have like 16 different Minecraft IDs. That way I can like inception myself in a world where it's just endless Minecraft inside Minecraft forever. And then if I ever make it out of that, then I'm probably going to try like some superhero stuff. Are you with me, Dan?
I'm here.
Some superhero stuff.
You went from
Yeah.
Minecraft to Iron Man. I'm still catching up.
I'm a little out there, but I do have power fantasies. What if we go vigilante some hooligans out of these neighborhoods? You know, try
It
to.
would be really cool to do some stuff like that, except I'm the guy that falls off the fire escape, breaks his ankle, and gets his ass beat. Like, that's how it works. Like, if you and me want to go vigilante something, we're going to have to go police the ball pit.
What if I
Like,
save the
make
day
sure
while you're
kids
getting
are
your
playing
ass beat?
fine, playing well.
Cullen's the
I mean,
getaway
those stuff-
driver.
Cullen can't drive. Have you ever rode in a car with him?
Real life Rocket League.
Yeah, he almost got flatlined by a semi. I will never forget Dan telling the fucking driver. The guy asked if we were short staffed.
Yeah.
And Dan's like, yeah, we had a guy the other day get flatlined by a semi. And the guy was like the biggest like look of like holy shit on his fucking face. I was crying. I was just dying. Dan's looking at me like, come on, hold it together, Caden, hold it together. I lost it. I was like, just the guy's like his reaction. He was just like,
It was
like-
it was bad.
it was awesome.
And then a week later, this guy comes into the office, and there I am. And he looks at Dan. He's like, "Isn't this the guy that got smushed by a semi?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "He don't look too flat to me." And I was like, "All right, fuck you, buddy. I know I could lose a few pounds. Leave me alone."
We mourned your death and called you fat in the same month.
It was depressing.
That's another thing
But-
I would probably do during the purge, man. I would go to the GNC and just stock up on all that weight loss shit that costs $1 bajillion and just try it all of it, one after the other.
I'm pretty sure that's going to leave doing an overdose. Like
for
600
it.
bottles of hydroxycut.
You know, I
Yeah.
stuck up on fucking beefcake.
I'm gonna hack my way into
Beefcake. I'm totally ripped.
I would take my hacker friend and I would sneak into the Comedy Central / Paramount / HBO database server tree farm house place, and I would take the master copy of your favorite episode of South Park, and I would replace it with one where you were named in the credits as the most special boy, Cullen. That's what I would do on the Purge.
So
See a single tear rolling down his cheek.
I love you
South
so
Park
much,
would just
Cullen.
finally have accurate credits. Doing the world a service. So, to give Thomas a break from his apparently extremely long list, I have like 4 things that are.
I thought of one
that
thing,
are
dude.
serious.
Like what the fuck is this shit? Like, you guys like come up with something. I'm like, all right, this seems like simple. And then you guys are like, let me pull up this PDF I typed up earlier. like what the fuck?
After Cullen goes, I have like a whole monster commercial that happens.
Well, thanks, guys. I've contributed to this fucking podcast. So
Why don't you look up a list? Do your damn job.
Jesus, calm down. I already did that. Anyway, so my like 5 serious things that I came up with that I would do that are super lame. So, number 1, I would file my taxes the most incorrect taxes have ever been filed. I would say I made $8.47 this year, and I donated literally $40 quadrillion to charity.
Y'all owe
There it
me.
Yeah, you guys owe me so much money. I am literally Mother Teresa of this shit.
Well,
Give
our
me your
national
money.
debt is capped.
Listen, you want me to give to charity? You better. I mean, you just got to eat it. So you want them kids to have food? I had to give my $40 quadrillion up. What are you giving up, Dan? 6 cents? Calm down.
So, question.
Okay.
Can the IRS go back and look and see, like, oh, this guy, we don't see any pay stubs. This guy, he's $8, but he don't just come up with $40 quadrillion out of nowhere. Just
Not during this 12 hours, they can't.
That's true. Hey, it's just like stealing the dirt bikes. What's done during the purge stays in the purge.
Well, they can't charge you, but can they fix it?
No.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Don't
Tax
hit
season.
on the
Better
hypothetical.
hope it's tax season, buddy.
Yeah.
We just wanna shit in your cereal, bro.
Hypotheticals. That is true. Let's just leave it as is.
Oh, and don't logicalize everything, Colin.
Come on, bro. Losing your
Anyway.
headband, dog.
Man, is that
Down
hairband
to
too
the-
tight? You're a little serious tonight.
Now to the really, really boring shit.
Yeah.
I would steal some vinyls. I'm trying to start my vinyl collection. Don't really want to pay for those bitches. I would steal some Lego
That's fair.
sets. Lego sets are super expensive, and I would like to get into Legos. So, stealing some Lego sets. This is the
I haven't
dorkiest
seen
move
those.
You'll
of
be
all time.
30 years old
I feel
soon.
like
Dan, I would advise you to shut the fuck up about how old people are when they make
Legos.
He's gonna pull out a Lego set.
fucking Jesus
He's got
Christ.
a Batmobile that he is now showing the camera that is
This
made of.
Plus, you were
Legos.
30-year-old some time ago.
You're almost 40.
I was
by this
35
logic.
when I made this, and it took a whole weekend, and I am very proud of myself because
That thing's pretty cool, but I mean, it's like,
I'm way more into putting them together now that I have to pay for them.
I feel like
Yeah,
I've
it's
seen,
fair.
a decline of like Legos. Like, I feel like when I was a kid, you go to like there's Nerf guns and Legos like everywhere. Like now, it's like, well, here's Jenga, and like there's light brights and shit. Like they might have like, well, here's Lego City. Oh, $6,000 for this Lego set. It's like, oh no, thanks. Like
yeah, dude, no shit. My son's last birthday, I bought him a Lego set, and it was $50, and it was just a box of Legos. Like there was no rhyme or reason to it.
That Batmobile was like $100.
Jesus Christ.
Woof. I mean, like, is it glued together? Like, can it fall
No,
apart?
I want to take it apart and put it back together again just to get my money back out. Really extend the experience.
What's the gas mileage on that son of a bitch?
Yeah, baby.
You putting 4-stroke fucking gas with that?
Speaking of
Sounds like someone's shaking a thing of Tic Tacs so it runs.
gas mileage, that was next on my list was to steal my girlfriend a new car because she's looking at new cars, and I was like, well, just run to the dealership, bust the keys out, we drive it home, we go to the DMV that they're very, very they don't have much work going on right now.
Where me and
So
Thomas
at
are
least be in
hooking
and
you
out.
up? Yeah.
So she's gonna get a new car, and then I had an actual real answer if a purge happened. I was like, I'd probably just go to another country. That was the last thing I wrote. Like, vacation to a place that's not trying to kill me actively.
Being this close to Canada would come in handy for once.
So that's my actual list of things that I came up with, not goofy shit.
My fun version of stealing cars was I wanted to like just trank homeless people and then steal a fancy car for them and just put them in the car with like a backpack full of shit. And then they'll just wake up in a new car the next day with a little note like, hey, well, good morning, sunshine. You are now the proud owner of a Mercedes-Benz 3500.
Sorry you were just forced into unconsciousness, but here's a new whip.
In this backpack, you will find a Tylenol and a bottle of water for your headache. Sorry about the dart and shit, but here's some underwear and some socks and like $45. Go have a new life now.
Dude, a fucking light bulb came over my head as soon as you said trank homeless people and put them in the cars. My first thought was demolition derby. That's my first thought. That was my
You're
first
all about
wanna
this
kill all the homeless
pitting people against each other thing with homeless people.
in my head.
Are you a New York mayor? What is your deal?
How awesome would that be? Like fucking like a derby. Just a bunch of homeless guys like wakes up like
That's legit from earlier, Cullen. Literally, would you participate in a real life roller derby style Rocket League? Because we could do that. We wouldn't need no permits. We wouldn't need to pay for any of the damages.
Oh, what?
I would not. It's not as pretty. The aesthetics just aren't there. And I'm not about it.
I don't want to die.
There wouldn't be a goal explosion, so you just kind of lost me.
I mean, we could, Dan, can you make that happen for us?
just explodes.
What the hell is a roller derby?
We bring in Dan too.
Who's
Plant
next?
C4 under the goals. As soon as the ball passes, he pushes the switch. Everything blows up. Now I'm back.
Explodes. All right. Who's up next?
Yeah, we'll steal the fireworks for next year's fireworks display. We'll just
That would be the longest game of soccer ever.
absolutely.
Like
It'd be fun though.
That would be the most interesting game of soccer ever.
It'd be fun. All right, Mike. I have questions for each of you. Dan, I really feel like every time I think about us kidnapping a small hacker, I just keep like forgetting that it's literally the plot of Live Free or Die Hard. and I'm really sorry. I just wanted to apologize in front of everyone that I Bruce Willis'd you
That's
in
okay.
this situation.
I'm usually a gun for hire.
Also, Cullen, where is the closest Funko Pop warehouse, and why wasn't that on your list?
That's a good question.
You could be rich, bub.
How many
I
Funko
kinda-
Pops could we strap to the top of this refrigerated truck full of pig butts? We can really cartel this thing
Oh, hell
together.
yeah. It's gonna be a double-decker trailer, bro.
There's no DOT on the purge, motherfuckers.
It's the turducken of mobile vehicles.
This motherfucker weighs 180,000 pounds.
Oh, shit.
We got Funkos for days.
Punkos and hog ass.
That's an episode title.
Yes.
All right, Caden, my question for you that I was like thinking about what I would think of if I was each one of you when I thought of these questions. On the purge, you could go anywhere and hunt anything. We're not talking about homeless people. This is not where I'm going with this. But if is there a piece of land that you wouldn't have access to normally, or like a type of hunting that you wouldn't be able to pull off normally because you can steal a car to go there? And is there a thing that's hunting related that you could work into your purge fantasy?
Probably anything out west, probably because
Yeah.
like now we're getting all fucking serious here. Like hunting anything like Rocky Mountain elk or something like that. You
Okay.
gotta have like you gotta put like a bid in for it. To get,
Oh,
like,
one of the
tags.
lottery tags. There's like
Yeah,
one in
lottery
every
tags.
200 people who enter get one or whatever.
Yeah.
Like bighorn
And they
sheep
got-
and stuff.
That or they got moose up in Maine too. You could do that too.
We were talking about a moose earlier. Oh, they're so big and scary.
Yeah, people don't realize how giant those animals are. Like, think, oh, that's a moose. Oh, that
Yeah.
thing's like 10 feet tall. Like, there's a video I watched. This car hit a fucking moose going like, I don't know, 40 miles an hour. It launched this fucking moose though, but this moose towered over the car, so it kind of like underswept it, and it just fucking launched up in the air. It's like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, they're tremendously frightening when you get up close to them. Like just watching videos of them makes me nervous. Like it makes my stomach hurt.
And their noses are so big too.
Mm-hmm. Like I feel like and it's all loose and floppy. It like gives me weird Cthulhu vibes. I don't know how to explain it. Like that big weird floppy nose is what eventually turned into like an elephant trunk. And I just know that it's going to like slurp me and I don't like it. That's a great clip. I know it's going to slurp me and I don't like it. Yeah. So
no,
this is
can be more.
This is my fun plan. This is my actual real fun plan. I want to steal a school bus because I've always wanted to be a bus driver, but also because I want to steal 20 to 30 dirt bikes. I'm going to the dirt bike dealership. I'm parking a dirt bike and in between each of the seats in this whole bus. We're just going to drive them up the back. Hold on, Dan. Wait, go.
No, I'm saying you just got to teach me how to ride one because I want to learn.
I have no idea either.
I asked Cullen, and
we're gonna have to sacrifice a couple.
Guys.
Yeah, is it easy that like we won't die if we're doing this?
You won't die. No,
gonna run them right up in the school bus.
Are you telling me that me sending that fucking dirt bike into the asshole of a school bus at full throttle, I won't die? Then by God, I'll take your word for
that's
it.
your plan. Usually,
not on the purge.
Their body.
That's right. You can't die on the purge.
I'm still stuck on one thing though. Like, so what? Like riding the bus to school, right? You sat there and was watching the driver, thinking, "I want to be that fucking guy one day. I want to drive kids to school every day."
It's an important job, dog.
You guys just passed that. I was like, who fucking thinks that? Like, I want to be that guy.
For a hot minute, I was getting dropped off at my grandma's house, like probably 2 years during grade school, and like school would let out at 3:30, and I would get off the bus at 5:10. I spent a lot of time on the bus. It just seemed peaceful. I don't know, like it's easy. Like you get to yell at kids and like call them names, and then pretend you didn't later. Like people treat you nice. I don't know. It seemed like a sweet gig, and also
I guarantee you sat up front and talked to the bus driver.
Sometimes. I also, those are the only 2 years I ever did homework. I'll tell you that.
That's awesome.
Dude, I actually was friends with my bus driver in high school. Like she lived down the street from me. I was friends with her daughters and stuff. And like I would go hang out and like eat hot dogs at their house and shit. It was fun. I come from a very small place.
What a good wholesome American.
I know. Her oldest daughter used to sneak me beers.
Fucking red, white, and bus driver.
Hell yeah. She'd be like, hey, you can have this beer if you promise you're going to walk the long way around when you go back home.
That's right.
That's awesome.
She had this not German Shepherd. What are the big ones that have the barrel? The mountain dogs with the collars with the barrel full of hot cocoa or whatever. Boom. Yep. You know.
Newfoundland?
No, I can't remember. No. St. Bernard's.
Oh, St. Bernard.
A ginormous female St. Bernard, and it wouldn't let any man near the house except for me. It made me feel very special.
Interesting.
That thing was fucking terrifying. Like, it could have fit my whole head in its mouth, and it wouldn't like... Very scary dog. Friends of my bus driver. Anyway, what else are we doing? Okay, we got the bus. We're stealing the dirt bikes. We load that fucker up, right? Just little guys. And then we're going to the store and we're going to get all the Mountain Dew. We're just taking it. Doesn't matter what kind. We're taking all the Mountain Dew. And then we are going to drive this bus like a bat out of hell until we get to the closest state orphanage full of sad kids who need a smile. And we're going to bust a hole in the front of the orphanage with the school bus because I've always wanted to do that. And then we're going to pop out of there like Oprah. And we're going to say, you get a dirt bike. And you get a dirt bike.
And you get safety equipment.
And you get a dirt bike. And you all get a case of Mountain Dew. Everybody gets a pair of Pit Vipers. This is a monster commercial. Welcome to the Purge. God bless America.
That's awesome. Nothing better than a bunch of orphans whiskey throttling fucking
dude. Yes. I'm just gonna leave it.
Fishtailing mud with one hand, chugging of Mountain Dew with the other. Merca.
Oh my god,
that's my plan.
He said, "This is a monster commercial. We drink Mountain Dew."
Well, they're kids. I don't want to kill them.
You're giving them dirt bikes and excess amounts of Mountain Dew. They're all going to die.
Shit, I didn't say anything about helmets in there. Probably should have did that.
Yeah, that would have been the end of me as a child. I wasn't even an orphan.
We're going to cut back into the middle of Thomas's spiel and be like, and safety equipment.
Wear a helmet in Minecraft when you steal dirt bikes with a school bus. I'm just picturing that scene in Deadpool 2, you know, like the whole front of the school's all busted open and the kids all rush out like they're going to get to escape for like a second and they're all happy. I don't know. I feel like, I want to do radical charity that just makes me feel good because it's free.
Let's see, if you wanted to show up to an orphanage and just like make 600 kids, I don't know how many kids reside in an orphanage, how many people go unclaimed, but like I thought you were just going to hit it with like, you get a family, and I'm just sitting there with a whole line of people at gunpoint like you're adopting this kid, Sharon, take him.
We're going to round up all these people like Cullen who have a house and no kids and be like, listen, bitch.
That's right.
Listen. There's nothing
that kid's going to be back there in a day after I,
It's illegal to abandon a child once you've adopted it, Cullen. Once the purge is over.
That's true.
I'm going to do it.
That is not illegal. It's frowned upon.
It's illegal in some places.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to arrest your dead body.
Yeah. They charge you.
Don't you dare pull that trigger. I'll be highly upset.
And fine your kids.
There's nothing more than a fucking orphan wants is a Kawasaki and a case of Mountain Dew.
It's freedom, dog.
I'll tell you one thing. If I had to pick between that and parents,
title.
All right, Cullen, are you ready to hit him with the finale?
I suppose. I don't know if it's going to take 10 minutes. Probably closer to 5. But you guys might actually have opinions on these, so we can
be brave.
Us opinions.
All right. So, I got on Reddit earlier.
Uh-oh.
And there's a giant thread about this. Not a wholesome purge, just a purge. And it was just what you would do. And there were so many goddamn replies, and there were so many super funny ones.
Right on.
And I was like, I'm just going to clip these, and we're going to talk about them. So here we go. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. Here's one for Thomas that only Thomas will like, that I wasn't going to include. It was just in a screenshot of another, and I saw it, and I was like, Thomas will love this. Say frick on a Christian Minecraft server.
Jesus Christ.
It's a thing.
That's amazing.
It's a thing. Building blocks with Jesus.
Heretic. Get out of our
You goddamn sinner.
Okay.
Oh,
Then we got this guy's answer is actually, it's really funny, but it's also pretty accurate if you really put some thought into it. It's a hide on top of a Bob Evans. Who the hell is going to look there?
That was my thing about going to work. No one's going to look for me there. Like, even if someone was trying to purge murder me, that's the last place they think I would go, right?
Dude, and no shit with the sight, the line of sight there at work, you could be posted up on top of one of the AC units with a 308 and just send people to God from like at least a quarter mile.
In
There's
Minecraft.
nothing more wholesome, in my opinion, than that, Dan. Like, people that want to go to God, you just send them.
That's right. Ask and you shall receive. Same day shipping.
They want to go to God. They'll find out real quick, and they'll be happy. Cut out for a few. I was like,
Yeah, you just cut out that whole time.
Yep.
That's lame.
Next.
All right. This one probably won't be as funny to Dan and Thomas, but Caden might enjoy it. Rebroadcast a baseball game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball.
Jesus Christ.
That's amazing. Okay.
Dan just kind of like, that's funny, I guess.
Hey. Yeah. Rule breaking, I think.
You remember the first time you burnt a CD and you were like, breaking the law, breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Yes, sir, I
It
did.
was actually that song 16 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the whole CD.
I was bumping it. Okay.
Bump.
Bussin'.
Ah.
Then we have a post from who I believe to be Thomas himself 4 years ago. Nobody ever loots the bakeries. It's always the supermarkets or electronics stores. I will take the cakes. And
I
then
will
I'll just
take
go
the
to
cakes.
the roof, enjoy some cake, and watch some murders.
That's awesome.
Like, fair.
I'm just going to be shoveling cherry cheesecake into my face while I watch the cherry cheesecake all over the sidewalk.
Why are there crumbs all over the sidewalk?
It's like that Dave Chappelle thing where the cops sprinkle crack on everybody, except for there's just graham cracker crust all over everything. And I'm just walking around like, I'm just trying to get a good seat for the murders. And cheesecake is delicious.
So, try to hold it together, you three, during this. If you think it's as funny as I did the first time I read it, whoo boy, just try to hold it together. I was
Expectations
dying.
are high.
Yep, let's
If
hydrate.
I can get through this without laughing, it will be quite impressive. All right, I would give this person credit, but they deleted their account. Also, this is fairly long, so when you think I'm done, I'm probably not.
All right.
Okay. I've posted this in other threads before, but frankly, it seems like too good a plan not to use for the purge. Geese. Live geese. I would tape live geese to my body and then maraud around town in my honking and snapping coat. No one would fuck with me. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'll just shoot the man in the live goose coat with some bullets. That'll show him. Frankly, that's a pretty good plan. So to counter that, I'll have to rig something up that releases the geese if I die. I'll make it extra visible so that everyone knows that I'm the only thing keeping these geese in check. Shoot me, and these geese are free. Free to enact a purge of their very own. One that doesn't end until all the humans are dead and all the bread has been eaten. God have mercy, you fellow Redditors. Lord knows my geese won't.
That's legit, dude. Geese have teeth on their tongue. They're vicious creatures. They used to be dinosaurs, and they are sons of bitches. I swear to God.
There's nothing scarier when
That
you're a
might be the
small
greatest
child
thing I've ever heard.
and a geese is chasing after you. Or a goose is chasing after you, I should say.
So next time my kids misbehave, I don't need to act. I just need to take them into the pond.
No, geese don't hang out in the pond, dog. Geese, you're thinking
They're
of
not.
swans. Geese hang out outside the pond like mobsters and just hang out waiting to beat somebody up and shit. They are bastards.
They run admittance
Yeah,
to the pond.
The geese don't shit in the water. They shit all around the water, so you can't enjoy the beach because they hate happiness. Also, one time I was being chased by a goose and it bit my leg fat on my hamstrings and it wouldn't let go, and I literally was just running and this goose was just flapping behind me like it was coming out of my ass and it wouldn't let go.
That
And-
would have been a majestic sight.
Oh, they're bad birds. They're not
To
nice.
see a young Thomas with a goose on his ass would be
Knee-high socks
sight to
with sandals, swim
high
trunks.
socks. Fucking God.
Uh-huh.
How did you get yourself? How did you get free? Like, I can't say it.
If anyone ever doubts my nerd credentials, I remind them that I used to be allergic to grass.
It sounds like you were also allergic to public interaction. Knee-high socks and sandals. Did you say sandals?
Yeah.
I need a vomit bag.
I
And-
am not proud, but I'm not ashamed.
Oh my God.
And at this exact moment that Thomas is being bit on the calf by a goose across the pond, this Reddit poster had a brilliant idea.
Oh, I actually am this is like a fun goose related fact. My daughter is an artist and draws a lot, and I keep telling her we need to make a comic book together that I could write it and she could draw it. And my son's obsessed with the Hulk, right? But he can't talk worth a shit yet. Like he can talk, but he says all of his words wrong. And he keeps calling him the honk. It's the honk! Honk smash! And one day I was like, we need to make a comic book about the honk. And I decided that day that he was going to be a goose and just not talk about it. He's just a goose that like wears a suit and just no one talks about the fact that he's a goose and he's just like a normal dude. But then when the crime strikes, he transforms into the honk and he does like goose related ass kickings. And his worst nemesis is a duck and his name is Earthquake.
Jesus Christ.
It's going to happen one day. He's a scary goose man. And geese are terrifying. They have teeth on their tongue. Did I say that?
Yes, you
Unsettling.
did.
I
Scary.
can just see a fucking goose just chiseled like a Greek god.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So basically, the goose from Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Kind of,
Yes.
yes. But in a suit. Like Clark Kent and shit. And his name is he's got to have a stupid name for when he's not the honk. That's also goose related.
The honk.
He has a
No, it's the
supersonic
Incredible
honk.
Yeah,
The
The incredible honk.
So,
Yeah.
does anyone else have any last thoughts on the Wholesome Purge?
I feel like we wrung it pretty dry, fellas.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was well done.
Do you have any non-homeless people related stuff you want to redeem yourself with, Caden?
You want to do something nice for him, maybe?
Fucking psycho.
You didn't fucking feed anybody, bud.
It's always the quiet
Without
ones.
killing them.
You can't tell me there's nothing nicer than giving them an opportunity to live,
To meet
and
the
be
Lord.
fed.
He's
Right.
everything you
At the
ever
expense of other life.
Exactly.
I like that. I'm not homeless, but I would ask to participate.
But what if you're like the ringer and like everybody knows you're gonna win? That's gonna ruin the betting pool for me.
Oh
and,
no,
like,
have you seen me? I'm built like a fucking squash. Like, watch me get tuned up by some dude who wants a can of beans.
yeah,
Dan's going to stand by with a combat knife, and if they start to rebel,
in his teeth.
Dan's going to have quad nods, and I'm just going to go turn the lights off, and Dan's like, all right, people just going to start dropping.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to our Wholesome Purge, episode 2 of the Highly Visible podcast. We just wanted to let you know you can follow us on Twitter at HighVizPod, at HighViz Cullen, Caden, Dan, and Thomas. We also have a TikTok. We have an official TikTok now. It's at HighVizPod. Thomas also is on TikTok at HighVizThomas. We have a Facebook page. That's just Highly Visible Podcast. We also run an Instagram. That's HighViz Podcast as well. I'm on Instagram on my own personal account at HighVizCullen. And Dan and I are on Reddit. u/HighVizCullen, HighVizDan. We also have a Discord. You can find the link on all of our social medias if you want to come join us and talk and have fun. All right, guys. Thanks for the listen.